Hello everybody and welcome to round 7 of the Podium tier at F1 TS Hub. We are here in Canada, Montreal, and by the looks of things we've got ourselves our first wet qualifying session. So I'm joined alongside me with Odems, of course from the Pinnacle tier and the Haas team. Odems, first time we've seen these guys actually have any type of wet weather. And they were asked about it this week in their pre-race interviews, and it looks to have come true.
Yeah, it's amazing that it took us 7 rounds to get to this situation. Usually on this game it rains quite a bit, but across other leagues, Canada has been known to rain. Even every time I do a dynamic practice session, it rains around here. So it's not too much of a surprise that it comes here. But it'll be interesting to see which drivers come out on top. Obviously we have a few new additions to the league. It's a nice initiation race for them.
Yeah, definitely, and of course with the 12-minute short qualifying session, in fact we're already down to 10.5 minutes remaining. These drivers are really going to have to get out, get used to these conditions as quick as they can. Be careful of those track extendings, as I already see a bit of carbon fibre on one of the back straights. But yeah, a quick welcome to D. Weller, who is who's joining us as we see the Force India struggle to slow the car down. He's joining us this week, so big welcome to him. Josh is of course joined us last week, and we also have Green Finn, who is joining us as Spider rejoins the session after momentarily getting disconnected.
So I think it's Emphatix again who's come out first, is it?
No, it is going to be Jonas, who's just spun it into the pits. He didn't mean to go into the pits, he spun it coming into the pits.
So it will be Emphatix to begin his flying lap. He'll be the first person out to test the weather. I do actually have, as he gets so aggressive on that curb. I think he might have gotten this in next lap to validate, I'm not too sure. But
yeah, it's a really slow lap.
Yeah. So, I've done a few laps around an intermediate track, and I think 22s and 23s, I think that would be pole position, possibly. If people get a turn to dry, which is very common around here. Could turn to dry in the middle of the session, so interested to see if that happens.
Yeah, of course, we don't know what the weather forecast is for these drivers. They can see on their telemetry sitting in the garage, but there's a yellow flag. I'm just on board with the Ferrari, and it's very slippery.
Gazzaman went wide. It looked like he might have been hit by the back of Emphatix. Let me check Emphatix. Yeah, I think Emphatix might have hit the back of Gazzaman. He did. He did. He let him through, and then he hit the back of him. That's unfortunate for Gaza, because he's just minding his own business and then push wide.
So we're about to have one of the Ferraris comes across the line. That's a 22.6. He's the only driver to get lap board, as Techno Thriller now joins 6/10 behind him. These drivers look to be really struggling here in these conditions, especially on the exits of corners. Odems, as Luki sets the fastest time course, the defending champion Luki. This is where he was crowned in Season 9. Canada was our final race in Season 9, yeah. So this is where he took his crown, and I'm sure he has fond memories of this place, because if I remember correctly, it also rained last season.
It did. MLA was one to take the driver to take the win on that occasion, so watch out for him in the Pinnacle tier. But yeah, Luki will definitely have fond memories of this race, as Josh, I think, hit the wall. But Keane goes top with a 21.8. Very impressive lap.
Just riding on board with the Sauber driver of D. Weller, new of course to the league. He puts it in 4th place, 8/10 off. So that's a decent first lap for him. These drivers are going to want to do multiple laps, aren't they, Odems, just to try and get themselves used to these conditions.
Yeah, definitely. You want to get as much heat into your tires as you possibly can. You want to set as many laps as you possibly can. You want to set your lap on the lowest fuel you possibly can finish on. Because it usually does get quicker and quicker as you go along in intermediate conditions, and you rarely ever set your best lap in intermediate conditions. So yeah, Kian, goes, not Kian, sorry, Technosphere goes into second place with a 22.2.
So we're still waiting for some drivers to post their lap times. Emphatic's, Green Finn and Lemaine choosing to stay in the pit lane for now. The other Ferrari of Matt Your Daddy still seems to be struggling out there with a little bit of traction on some of these, what is sometimes already a low traction circuit in the dry ODEMs.
Yeah, it is. Turn 2, I believe. Yep, turn 2. And the corner after the first sector, I think that might be turn 6. They depend heavily on traction, so nailing the entry as well as the exit is crucial. And then that's not even taking the hairpin into account, because what follows is a very long straight. Gazman, I think, invalidated his next lap, so he's still yet to fill a lap. He's languishing down in 15. I'll be interested to see what his reaction to when Emphatic's ruining his lap is. Maybe, Emphatic's runs wide through that corner again. That's where he spun, or hit the back of Gazman rather. So it's interesting to see if Gazman wants to report that, because it does not look good.
Yeah, and Gaza actually is on a flying lap now. He was 9/10 quicker than his personal best in that first sector. He's 2.1 seconds quicker than his overall lap time after 2 sectors. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Gaza can do here. Of course, experienced driver in these conditions, so he should know exactly what to do.
Second.
Yeah, Craig pumps it into second.
And Josh right behind him. So the laps are just coming tumbling down.
Yeah, that's a big improvement from Josh. So yeah, well done to him. As we see Gaza exit the last corner now, a bit cautious. He's on an 18 already, so quicker he can get to that line, the better. It's going to be enough for only 10th position, but a second ODEM's covering the top 10 at the moment, as we have just under 5 minutes left to go.
That is a top 11, I think. If I'm seeing, no, sorry, Johnson at 124. Yeah, the top 10 are very, very, very close. Craig is close to the leader as well, so very interesting that in wet conditions of all places, the drivers are so bunched up. In the wet, there's more places to gain and lose time, but it seems these drivers are all sort of equal.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Matt Your Daddy and the other Ferrari to come across the line. I know he is quite quick in terms of his times when he's crossed, but he's just seemed to invalidated his laps previously as he touched the wall in the exit last corner. This looks a decent lap though, as he slides the rear. Where is this going to put him? In second place. It did look like a quick one.
Wow.
Yeah, just under a 10th behind Kian. So, excuse me, he's going to need to come in, get a fresh set of tyres and head back out there. The rain doesn't seem to be changing in terms of how heavy it's falling. It still looks like it's, quite light rain compared to what it was at the start of the session, so we'll keep an eye out to see if that changes. But Green Finn is now on a hot lap. He is currently at the hairpin, just exiting that now. Himself, Lemaine and Emphatic are yet to set a time.
Matt Your Daddy spun it. Out of the first sector, Matt Your Daddy completely spun it. Lost a bit of his front wing, caused a safety car as he, well done, lets, I think, Josh through. And folks said it was very well to get out of their way. So yeah, Matt Your Daddy obviously is very quick, but he's prone to mistakes, and you've just seen one from him now. As now it's extended to the top 12, the second gap to the top 12. So this has probably been one of the best qualified sessions we've ever had.
Yeah, this has been hugely impressive from this podium tier, and honestly wouldn't be able to tell you who's going to be on pole position. Kian looks set to, be right up there, but you just don't know. It's so easy to make a mistake when it's these types of conditions. As Green Finn goes into 14th with his last fine lap, he's going to want to improve from that position. But Emphatic and Lemaine still yet to set a time. I believe Lemaine is now on a hot lap after a mistake on his last one. Emphatic is on his personal best in sector 2, so let's see what he can do. Here we are, the Force India driver heading down the back straight. What seems a very long straight when you first enter it, but you don't really want that last corner to come any quicker than it does. It's so tricky to get right in the dry condition, let alone these. As on a 120, this is going to put him, I reckon, in about 11th, 12th, 13th, so I wasn't far off from that estimate. Lemaine's still yet to set a lap time. He's backed off, I believe. Is he backed off? It looks to me like he's backed off Odem, so He's obviously backed off this lap. With the time remaining, he'll be able to set another 2 flyers. He does have enough fuel for that, so he obviously just wants to get a lap in that's going to be good enough before he crosses that line.
Yeah, 126, not a good lap, and he invalidated as well, so he must have backed off. He definitely needs to get a lap in because he does not want to start last.
Emphatic has retired from the session, by the way, Odems. He's just pulled off to the side of the road, so he should have done that in the pit lane if he wanted to manually retire, but we won't worry about that now because Jonas is coming across the line. He's looking to improve on his 14th position. He does. He moves up 1 into 13th. So we've got everyone except Matt, your daddy, and Josh now out on the pit lane. Josh is coming out. I don't think he'll have enough time to actually set a lap because there is under a minute left in the session. But hello to everyone watching. This is the Podium tier at 7 PM, of course, and we do have our first wettish qualifying session, and these drivers are providing a proper show for us.
Yeah. Everyone is so... Oh, Techno Triller... No, sorry. Body Dweller, I think. Body the Dweller. Snatched pole position with 21.7. Amazing.
The Red Bull of Josh has retired.
Not over. The session is definitely not over. The debutant taking a pole position, very impressive from him so far.
9 tenths cover the top 11 now as Lemaine puts it in 2nd place. He's still going to get one more crack at this. But this is going to be extremely close. We've got the Mercedes to cross the line. We've got Kian to come back. We've got Techno Thriller. What can he do? The champion, Jamie. As Jamie Kian, now goes fastest.
In the wall. Jamie goes. Kian's in the wall. It's all kicking off. Kian completely shafted his car into the wall. I did not see that one coming. I was just on board with that. Jamie goes fast. Techno Thriller goes fastest. Surely the conditions are improving, or maybe the drivers are just improving. This is madness. The laps are just tumbling down right now. And Kian, who was sitting in pole position for most of the session, is now in 5th.
So we've still got a few drivers to cross the line. We've got Razor, Lukey, Lemaine, and D. Weller. D. Weller has improved, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He was under a 10th up after the 2nd sector. So what can he do? But Techno Thriller looks set to have snatched pole position here. I don't think that's going to be enough. No, it's not. What can Lemaine do? The Mercedes driver. Can either of the Mercedes driver? No, Craig has finished his session, so it's down to Lemaine. He is going to be the last driver to cross the line. Has he timed this right? He comes into the final chicane, tricky enough in the dry. He does it in the wet, keeps it clean, keeps it over to the right hand side, crosses the line, and he does it. Lemaine, last lap of the session, massive pressure, Odens, but he delivered.
Wow, he did deliver. Everyone delivered. That was probably the best qualifying session I've ever seen. That was unbelievable. It was close at the start, but towards the end, Techno Thriller and Lemaine were both pulled away from the pack in terms of lap times, but it was just so competitive. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was so close, Odems, and they really did improve at the end. Everyone did. So perhaps the conditions allowed the drivers to go quicker, and it was drying out a little bit. But yeah, shout out to Jamie and D. Weller as well. They've both done well in 3rd and 4th on the 2nd row. So this looks set to be a pretty exciting race. We got 2 of the 3 at the moment championship contenders on the front row together, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they get through turn 1. But Kian will be disappointed. Do you think he just lost the car? It was in turn 2 where he seemed to be stationary.
He hit the wall so fast it looked like he just kind of drove into it. Maybe he dipped the tire into the grass and just lost all braking. But it was a very odd situation as the race is very dry in contrast to quali. That would have been so annoying because it seems that it was the track conditions getting quicker and he's missed out heavily on that. He definitely had the pace to get pole.
Lemaine only did 2 laps in that session, Odems, and he did them right at the end of the session. And so perhaps that says something about his strategy and exactly, what he was planning to do, and it worked out pretty perfectly for him. But we are on our formation lap, just to let everyone know that if you do see a disqualified, it is only from the formation lap. It is not from the session. I like to remind everybody of that before we start the race. But yeah, this
Remember to remind Alan.
Yeah, this is going to be hugely exciting. We have 35 laps in Canada, and because everyone set their qualifying time on the intermediate tires, they'll be free to choose their strategy in terms of what tire they start on. Odems, do you think some of these top runners will take advantage of that this week?
Definitely. The super soft tires are the mandatory tire, so I would assume a lot of people want to start on them. Lemine is starting on them, Techno Triller is starting on them, Jamie is starting on them, Dweller isn't, Kian is, so the majority of the field, not your daddy as well, the majority of the field will be starting the super soft to take advantage of that. So,
yeah, so we got D. Weller, Spider Atlas, Jonas on the ultra soft, Gaza starting on the soft. He likes to start on the hardest tire possible, but the rest of the field starting on the super soft. Of course, we have 16 today, which I believe is best turnout for the podium tier, so well done to those guys. They're obviously excited about Canada and what is going to be a pretty fantastic Friday night. We've got the Pinnacle tier at 7 p.m. But all eyes are on these boys, these 16 boys who are going to line up shortly on the pit straight. And what are the challenges that they're going to face, Odems, in this race?
Well, this track does not fail to hit you with challenges. The first one mainly being corner cutting. It's very easy to do that. Second being the close proximity of the barriers. And then the third being overtaking, which is deceptively hard around here, especially with the lowered slipstream from last year.
Well, Odems, the lights are coming on. We're at 3, we're at 4, we're at 5. We're waiting for them to go out, and now they're out. Lemane gets a good start straight away. Techno Thriller's looking to challenge. It looks pretty as they exited, as they qualified, I should say. But Lemane goes deep, and Techno Thriller goes right round the outside. But what can Lemane do on the traction? This is going to be tough into turn 3. They're going to have to keep it clean here. It's not the best place to do an overtake, and Lemane thinks better of it. So Lemane going a little bit deep, and Techno Thriller taking advantage of that. I haven't seen too many position changes according to my indicator, Odems. So everyone seems to have got through the first sector as they did in Monaco, perfectly clean. A couple going up, a couple going down, but for the most part, it's pretty good.
Kian has lost 2 positions. That's terrible for him. Body Dweller goes down the inside of Jamie, gets himself a warning in the process. He's going to be the man to watch. He's on the ultra soft, so he's going to blast through this the 2 drivers here. At least he's going to try to, and that's going to be very pivotal on who wins this race, on whether he can carefully navigate his way through them. But Craig and Jamie, the biggest losers from that, both losing 2 positions.
Yeah, Jamie's struggling a little bit here, Odems. He's got the Ferrari of Matt Your Daddy all over the back of him, and I wonder if he's going to try something into the first corner, depending on, he doesn't get that good of an exit, so Jamie could be safe for another lap. But look at these drivers, they're all separated by literally half a second to a second between each of them after the first lap, and Techno Thriller is, as Odems leaves the session and the commentary box, so hopefully he can get back in. Until then, we'll just take over as we see Craig now falling down the order. I'm not sure what's happened to him, but he's come all the way down to last place. His car looks intact, so perhaps it's just a mistake that he's made, or had slight contact with another car. As Josh moves up to 5th position, he is now ahead of the Ferrari. We're seeing the Williams of Kian attack Matt Your Daddy as well. So Matt Your Daddy's obviously made a mistake or something. Kian goes through on the inside, coming into just before the final sector. Meanwhile, Dweller is up to 2nd position, so he has got ahead of Lemane, and one of the championship contenders on those ultra soft tires, going extremely quickly, lighting those timing screens up. So Techno Thriller is going to have his teammate in his mirrors very quickly. Lemane's still holding on through the slipstream. Excuse my cough, I do have a little bit of a tickly throat. As Odems rejoins the session, we might have to invite him back into the party, but we'll wait for confirmation from him before doing that. Josh is in 5th position, as we mentioned, so he's doing well there. Welcome back, Odems, for joining us. We've just to update you, we've seen Dweller move up to 2nd position. Craig has made a mistake or something, contact with another car. He's down in last place now, but no damage, luckily for him, so he'll be able to continue as Jonas gets the first person to get a 3-second time penalty Josh has moved up to 5th position as well, and he's all over the back of Jamie. What's he going to try down into the second fast left-right hander? Is he going to try? He puts his nose in, cuts the corner. Jamie doesn't leave him any room, and now he's under attack from Kian. What's Kian going to do? Is he going to try and make a pass into the inside of the hairpin? Yes, so gives him room onto a side-by-side all the way through, and Josh keeps a position. A little bit of weaving there. I'm not sure what's going on. This is exciting, Odems.
Yeah, down the inside he goes. It's a very dangerous place to try and make the move, but he does it, and he places the car very well. And Luki now is the one on the back of Josh, but Josh has DRS and he might just be able to keep the position. Yet looks like it. And Luki gets himself a warning in the process.
Yeah, Luki cut the corner there, but he obviously felt he wanted to fight another day. I'm not sure which battle to pick because there's so many up and down the field right now, but Dweller is closing the gap to catching Techno Thriller. The main's dropped back a bit. Jamie is in 4th place, got himself a little bit of a headache and a train behind him now, as Lemaine's got a little bit of a gap. So what can these drivers do? Let's look at Razor. He's just gotten past. They're side by side. Let's ride on board. This is a great camera angle. Razor goes slightly wide. Matty Daddy touches the wall. For the most part, I don't think there was damage there. And now Spider Atlas has come to join the battle. Look at these three here, Odems. This is fantastic racing from these boys.
It is. I was just watching Clean because he's so close to the back of Jamie. I think Razor just overtook Spider Alphys there. I'm not sure if he did or not.
Yeah, Spider Atlas didn't get the best access. Here comes the Force India now. There's 4 of them. I can't even tell you who's about to do what. But they are as they entered the corner, and now the 2 Force India's drivers are together. So they're going to have to be careful to make sure they keep it clean. They won't want a repeat of what happens in real life. But as they all enter the braking zone into turn 1, it's kept very clean indeed. I'm very impressed with these drivers as Luki's had a moment. He's rejoining the track now. Again, doesn't seem to be any front wing damage, so these drivers are getting a little bit left with some luck by the fact that they're not getting any damage on their cars here, Odem. So as Matt, your daddy moves up.
Greenfin has damage on his right end plate. I don't think Greenfin was always in 16th place, so maybe it was him and Luki, you think?
Possibly, yeah, as Jamie does have damage. Jamie has front wing damage on the right hand side. He's dropping down the order. He's now in 12th position. He's going to have to pit possibly and set those soft tyres and see if he can take it to the end. As now Gaza comes past him and the Mercedes of the recovering Craig. So Jamie being sensible there, getting out of the way.
So it seems like Craig had a massive moment at the start of the race that dropped into the back of the pack, but now we can see, I think that's who's the top of Razor. He can see 7th place Razor, so it seems Razor might be a bit of a strain here for all these people. Not
Josh
that,
and Jamie have pitted, by the way.
Yeah, Josh and Jamie pitted. Not that we're complaining about this. Pegasus is pulling away from Dweller, it seems.
All the tyres were fresh, Odem, so there isn't too much of a disadvantage in terms of that respect. But we're riding on board with Razor. He's got Spider Atlas all over the back of him. The Renault versus the McLaren. Of course, they'll be teaming up in next year's game. So this will be interesting to see what they can do as Jonas now moves down the field on his ultra soft tyres. He's just been overtaken by Craig and Gaza, so he's lost a couple of positions. But as the gaps start to even out just a little bit, we can see still the 2 Force Indias, the closest cars on track. And Odem's strategy-wise here, are we looking at a one-stop for everyone?
Very easy one-stop. You could do a one-stop in 2016, so I wouldn't be surprised if anyone opted, to do anything different around here. Yeah.
Here we go. We got Gaza and Craig chasing down these 2 Force Indians, been picking their way through the field nicely.
Made a move on Razor, but he's very slow off the exit, and Razor is going to try again. It's going to be down to braking, and Spider Alphys is the one who gets it right. So up into 6th for Spider Alphys as Razor drops further down the field. And must note that Spider Alphys is on Ultrasofts.
Yeah, and meanwhile, whilst that was happening, Craig got past Gaza. Gaza had a poor exit out of the Wall of Champions. I'm not sure if he made contact. He was out of our view, but he did have quite a poor exit. So now we're going to watch Craig attack these two Force Indias and see how quickly he can get past these boys, because he does have a bit of a pace advantage, you'd have to say. This makes all the more exciting for us watching as Razor. It's now all over the back of Spider Atlas again. These two really want to dance side by side, so this is going to be interesting. DRS here at Odems, of course, very powerful, because you not only get the one, you get the double DRS on the pit straight.
Yeah, but the slipstream of the effect is not as powerful as it used to be, so the DRS isn't as OP as it was, say, last year. So overtaking isn't as easy as you would think. As you can see, Craig is not really gaining up to the Buckster, because the Buckster had Emphatic's in front of him to get slipstream off him, but the Buckster had a poor exit, so here comes Craig's chance. He'll be down the inside, Buckster goes defensive.
Bug took what I describe as one of the best defensive ways to defend into turn 1 round Canada. You just kind of take the middle of the track, and the driver behind doesn't know exactly what to do. He can't sling it down the inside because the corner's too tight, and there's not enough room without dipping a wheel on the grass where the track kinks on the entry to the breaking point of turn 1. So well done to the Bugster for defending like a pro there. Odense, perhaps you could take some notes, but anyway, here we go as we wait for these two to come back round. The Bugster being held up maybe a little bit here by his teammate, but definitely Craig's gonna want to get past these guys if he wants to finish with a good scoring points haul today.
Yeah, it's so hard to overtake a car when the car just parked in front of them, giving them that bit of slipstream. So I think the Bugster is a bit quicker than his teammate, so looks like team orders will not be in effect, as in fact he goes defensive into the hairpin. Not sure if that's a very good idea. Bugster goes, oh!
That was clumsy. That was clumsy at its most.
Clumsy, and Craig is just laughing as he's now making the move on the Bugster.
Oh, they went touch wheels.
Craig got so deep. Batik's just about covers him off, and now the Bugster side by side with Craig.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, unfortunately, did not play that. Unfortunately, did not play that very well, as the Bugster goes a bit wide. And the Gazaman is right behind Bugster. Did not notice that Gazaman is right off the back of the Bugster after he made that mistake. Down the inside he goes. He get it slowed down.
Craig spinned it. Craig spinned it. Craig is out of this race. He's absolutely binned it. I think that is on the exit of turn. That's coming up to turn 3, I believe. It's on the entry to turn 3. So perhaps he's perhaps he's got on the grass or something like that. But it's not even near the breaking point to turn 3. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But yellow flag to sector 1. It is definitely due a safety car because of that. But that means there probably won't be one, unfortunately. But work in this game. Kian, meanwhile, we haven't mentioned him, Odems. He's caught up to Lemaine, and he's in 4th position now in DRS zone. So what can he do from there?
Just to say, this is the perfect protective killer. He's pulling away from Dweller, pulling away from Lemaine, and he's just laughing at these two now. Hopefully for him, they tangle a bit, they hold each other up, bring someone else into play, because as it stands, the race is just going swimmingly for Techno Triller.
Yeah, he's got a few second lead.
Sorry.
That's alright. No, I was just saying that Techno Thriller's got a 3-second lead now, which definitely gives you the opportunity to go a lap later if someone tries to undercut you and not lose the position. We're seeing the Force India driver using all of the track and a little bit more as we see a bit of debris flying up. He gets so close to the wall.
Craig got past Emphatix, and Emphatix has front wing damage. So maybe that's how Craig got past. Because you've not had that before, I'm quite sure.
That's a good spot there, Odem. So what can Lukey do? He's going to look to take this position now in his Ferrari. His teammate's up in 5th position, so Matt Your Daddy's doing well today. They did say the Ferraris had 2 double DNFs last couple of races and they needed to come back strong. So, okay, so there you go. He's given up with those ultra soft tyres. What will he do now? You'd have to say probably go on to the softs, Odems, from this point in the race. Here comes Lukey down the pit straight.
Spider Alphys just overtook Matt Your Daddy as well. So that's very impressive with Spider Alphys. He's up in 4th.
On the quicker tyre, of course, you would think that would that pace advantage though would have disappeared by now after 11 laps. But no, Spider Atlas showing us exactly how it's done. He's having a brilliant race up in 4th position, so well done to him. Razor behind Matt Your Daddy. Then we've got Dweller, who came out the pits, currently in 7th place, so he's looking to undercut. Can Super Softs go to the end? 24 laps?
But considering he felt the need to pit on lap 11, maybe his can't go to the end. That's what I'm thinking.
So Jamie now on the back of Green Finn. Here we are, we're in the middle sector. Jamie's going to go for it now into turn 8, I believe. Turn 8, the second fast left-hand chicane. He goes down the inside, gets the job done. Of course, that won't be the end of the road for Green Finn. He's going to be able to get DRS as long as he can stay within a second into this hairpin, and that will bring him right back into play. But yeah, Jamie having stopped getting past Green Finn.
So watching the stream now, it's apparently it was Green Finn was the reason Josh found himself in the wall. There was an altercation between those two, and that's how Josh found himself in the wall and out of the race. So that's something we missed, unfortunately. Green Finn. Oh, look, Keane is overtaking Lamine as well. I don't think we caught that either. There's so much action going on, but Keane is up into 2nd place.
Yeah, not just overtaken,
Lamine,
Odin's pulled away as well.
Yeah, Lamine has foot damage on his left end plate as well, so maybe he made a bit of a mistake, and that's what allowed Keane to get there. Maybe Lamine already had that front wing damage, and that's how Keane is so much quicker.
Ferrari of Matt Your Daddy now, Odems, on the back of Spider Atlas, so it seems you take a place and then you're under attack. Seems to be what's on the cards, what's on the lunch menu today. So let's go, let's see what this Renault versus the Ferrari can do. Two engine manufacturers about to head down on lap 12 down the back straight. Lap 12, lap 13 I should say, as Techno Thriller is crossed the line now to start his 13th lap. Here we go, DRS of course in effect. Matt Your Daddy gets a good exit. Yeah, what's going to happen here into the braking zone? Spider Atlas goes defensive, then comes back across. Matt Your Daddy goes back down the inside. What a move that was. He leaves just enough room for the Renault, and he's going to power out on traction. What a move that was.
That's exactly what happened to me last season with Jono. There was a bit of space down the outside, covering a little kink, turning right. There was a little space on the outside, and my car was there. But the car in front just kind of goes back onto the racing line, and you're forced to take the inside. It ended a lot better for Matt Your Daddy than it did for me. It's a great move, and he's already pulled a little bit of a gap to Spider Atlas.
Yeah,
he's front down as well.
Yeah, who's struggling here against Razor, and meanwhile the Sauber of Dweller, who's already pitted. Oh, Matt Your Daddy, oh my apologies. Well, the Sauber of Dweller is being held up now, so this undercut perhaps isn't working as well as he'd hope. He's going to try and get past these guys on the freshest compound tyres of anyone on track, but when are these leaders going to react as Kian closes in a little bit on under 7 seconds? So Razor coming down the inside of Spider Atlas. Is he going to make this stick? Yeah, Spider Atlas comes into the pits, and that can and then bends it.
Razor so much is in the wall. He's in the wall. Sure, that's a safety car. He is. Oh, that has compromised his run so badly, and he is out of the race. Wow, that's opened those up for Body Dweller completely. How on earth is that not a safety car? He's parked in the worst possible position you could park a car.
Yes, Keane gets a penalty. I'm not sure how he managed to get that so early, and that's not even the Wall of Champions, I don't think. I think that's before it, what we'd class it as anyway. The two marshals don't seem too keen to jump over the wall and get rid of that car, but no safety car, and Razor is out the race as Techno Thriller and the main exchange quickest laps between the two of them. Our quickest battle is the two Force Indias again. They haven't left each other's side since last 5 or 6 laps. We do know that one of them has wing damage, I believe. I think it's Emphatic, and he's holding up his teammates still. Razor left the session. He won't be happy with that result. Experienced driver like that, I'm sure, will be bitterly disappointed. But there you are. That's the way it goes sometimes, and that's how unforgiving Canada can be.
Yeah, I'd just like to point out that our current top 3 is, I'm pretty sure, is the driver standings, with Techno Thriller, Key, and Lamar. I'm pretty sure that's how the driver standing is, currently. Also, you would think in practice would just let Bookster go. I mean, there's no team order which is good in the spirit of F1, but surely you would let him go, but it's arbitrary now as the Bookster heads into the pits. But
let's have a look and see who stopped and who hasn't. So Dweller in 5th position has stopped. Spider Atlas has stopped. The Bookster's in now, so he's stopping. Jamie stopped. Jonas has stopped, and Josh has stopped, but he is out of the race. Of course, we have 2 retirements today: the McLaren of Razor and the Red Bull of Josh. Meanwhile, Green Finn is catching up to the back of Jonas, who's a little way off the pack now. But they're going to catch back up. Hopefully, yeah, the gap's coming down. Of course, one of the drivers, the Force India, is coming out of the pits. But we've got Dweller all over the back of Matty Daddy, who's defending for his life, you have to say. This is pretty exciting. We can see that the top 8 are on the super soft tyre. That seems to be the favoured choice. What's going to happen, Odems? Take us through this into the final corner and into the first corner.
So the final corner would preferably be the stage you've set it up for, not for Bodydweller as he goes down the inside. That probably wasn't his best course of action as Matty Daddy gets a full run, but Bodydweller is not close enough to capitalize. There's a Techno Chiller pits, Kian pits, and Lamine, the top 3 of all
yeah,
pits.
top 3 pits.
And Techno Chiller keeps the lead. Wow, that is awful for Dweller. That is not what you want at all. It seems time behind those cars has completely ruined him as he looks at going down the inside of Matty Daddy. He might try it into this corner. He doesn't. But yeah, Techno Killer is very fortunate, not fortunate, but very impressive that he's managed to get out ahead of Bodydweller, and if he can keep it clean, he's looking a lot for the race. Bodydweller obviously being his teammate, that's something I've just noticed.
Craig's in the wall just after the first sector. The Mercedes having some more sensibly waits for cars to come past before he rejoins the track. He does have wing damage. Yes. It looks only an end plate, so it could only be yellow, and he could continue. But yeah, Techno Thriller, he planned that perfectly. Lemaine, obviously, and Kian have lost position to Dweller, but we do think Dweller has to stop again after fitting the super soft tyre. All 3 of those guys pitted onto the soft, so they're comfortably one stopping. Matt Your Daddy, yeah, comes into the pit, so that releases. It's a Sauber 1-2 at the moment, boys, and it's going to be a massive result for them if they can both finish on the podium. It'll really kickstart Sauber's championship hopes, and yeah, this is pretty exciting. Matty Daddy's in the pits. Where's he going to come out?
Behind Spider Altus.
So Craig comes into pits to fix that front wing. As Jamie's on the ultra soft, so you have to say he's stopping again. But what can these two do? You think the 2 Saubers are going to go for a bit of a battle now, Odems, or do you think they'll think better of it with Lemaine and Kian obviously close behind?
It seems that Techno looks to be the quicker driver. So I had a practice session with Cliffy. He's watching the stream, so shout out to him, my teammate. At a practice session, he was the quicker driver in the race, but I was on the quicker tire. So it took everything I had to catch up to him on the super softs, but obviously as Techno is on the harder tire, his tires degrade slower and slower. I think they might even be getting quicker. So if he does want to catch up to Techno, he has to do it right away. But maybe since as a teammate, I don't think that would be the best course of action to hold him up. So it's not looking good for Bodydweller as a race win is concerned.
We've got, meanwhile, Spider Atlas all over the back of Gaza. Gaza yet to stop if he started on those soft tyres. Is he going to sling it down the inside? Gaza gives him a lot of room. Spider Atlas thinks better of it, but he's going to try again, possibly into turn 3. Gets a much better exit on those fresh tyres. No, thinks better of it, so sensible racing. Yeah, Jamie pits, so his races hasn't gone to plan, that's for sure, after starting in the top 5. Spider Atlas is all over Gaza. Is he going to try to go around the outside? Has a bit of the slide. We caught that.
I think he changed gear mid-corner, which is called that slide. He tried to put it around the clean around the outside of Gazman, but didn't have the grip to do that.
Lemaine just got past Lukey into 4th position, so those top 4 now evenly matched on pace, I have to say, Odems, within a few tenths of each other. Techno Thriller leading the way with his teammate Dweller behind doing the undercut and on a different tyre. Then you've got Kian and Lemaine. Lemaine lost a bit of time there for coming out in traffic, but it'll be interesting as Lukey comes into the pits. be interesting to see what those boys can do. Spider Atlas is all over the back of Gaza. What's Gaza going to do? Continues on. Spider Atlas has got a mighty exit all over the back of him. He's going to get this job done, you have to say, before turn 1, is he? No, Gaza holds it, goes back down the inside, dives it down. What a move. That is how you overtake a turn 1, Odems.
Yep, it's a very, very good move. He's placed his car perfect. Oh, actually, Gazman caught into the back of that Spider Atlas, which kind of gave him a little boost. They go side by side into turn 3 and 4. They're still sort of side by side. Gazman might sling it around the outside, he does.
Here comes Matt, makes contact with the Renault.
To the inside. Spider Atlas is like he's going to get them both. Is he? He's down the inside. That's unbelievable driving from these three. Matteo tries into the apex. He takes it off him. Spider Atlas makes a mistake. Oh, he's lost the position to Gazaman.
Yeah, so he took the curb and followed the sign which said he needed to go round and exit. I don't know if he got a penalty for that. I didn't see anything come up. But yeah, fantastic racing from these three. And Matt, your daddy, who started behind at the back of the battle, has now come up into the front of these guys. So he's pushing. He's only 10 seconds off Lemaine, and he's definitely got some pace today. So Spider Atlas, as he was at the start of this lap, back behind Gaza.
Spider Atlas has had a few ups and downs in this race.
Oh!
No, that's unfortunate.
Gaza's in the wall. Gaza's in the wall. That is very unfortunate. It just seemed they seemed to bang wheels, and they just both seemed to go in opposite directions, like the opposite of magnets. That was terrible stuff. It was such good racing. Spider Atlas has kept it together, albeit a massive lockup, as we see a bit of the Force India's front wing coming off. Bugster. I was riding on board, it flew off to the side of the track. So Gaza will be bitterly disappointed. That's his first DNF this season, and he was in a good position with a good strategy, Odems, but I doubt we'll see a safety car. No, we haven't, and his car's been cleared. So bitterly disappointed for him, and what more can we say?
It just looks like they came together. There's a little kink before the first corner that I already alluded to, and it looks like they were maybe both misjudged the distance between each other, and they just collided, and it just didn't work out.
Definitely didn't work out.
That was a great battle.
Yeah, it was.
Spider Atlas had made a great undercut on Matt Your Daddy, and it looked like if he could just get past Gazaman, it would just be perfect for him, and he could get himself a buffer. But it's turned out completely differently. Not only did Matt Your Daddy get through them both, and Spider Atlas finds himself down the order. So it's a shame that it had to end that way, because it was so enjoyable to watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was. And now Spider Atlas is stuck behind the Force India after not having any grip for that massive slide. But that won't do his tyre wear any good. As we see now, the gap, other than this battle, the gaps have all evened out to over 3 seconds, except for Kian, who's closing down Dweller now. So that was 3 seconds, but he's taken a chunk of time out of him. But it seems that kink always causes something every single season, Odems. It's just that drivers, if they're going to go down the inside, I think maybe they need to go more to the inside, but that of course affects your acceleration into turn 2 and further all the way up the hill into turn 3. So it's just it's one of those things that there wasn't enough room. I just couldn't believe, though, it's almost like they bounced against each other and just went in complete opposite directions. I didn't think Gaza would have retired from that, but he just bounced straight into the wall. And Spider Atlas went shooting across the grass and managed to,
So fortunate. He was so fortunate that he went the opposite direction, so there was no wall for him to intercept. Gazman didn't have that same luxury, unfortunately.
Yeah, he definitely didn't. Well, now that we've got a few gaps now, obviously if you're watching, hello, big hello, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button down below. Also, if you want to check us out, check the league out, www.f1tshub.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at F1TSHub, where we have live updates of the race and throughout the week about everything that's going on. We do have a Black Friday sale on buy one get one half price over on the merch store, So head over and check out some of our products and merchandise for sale there. What can Spider Atlas do? Odems, he's seems to be struggling to overtake cars in today's race.
Yeah, this is more of a thing that he just can't get close enough to the books, or maybe he can get a good run out of the final chicane. He doesn't really get the apex much as he would have wanted to. But yeah, as I already mentioned, overtaking is deceptively hard around here. With that kink and the chicane being very tight and the slipstream being dumbed down, it's not very easy to make a clean overtake. I just wanted to make a note that it seems Podium tier is very... There's a whole group are completely different in terms of strategy when it comes down to Pinnacle, because super soft is not something I expected to see by anyone, but that's what everyone has done. Imagine in Pinnacle everyone would be doing ultra soft, super soft, even if there is no rain. So I've noticed that as well. Most people are doing 2 stops compared to 1 stops in Podium. So strategies are very different.
And it doesn't seem to disadvantage them too much because so many drivers take that strategy of going for the extra stop in this tier. But one thing, as you know, I noticed as well, obviously because of the rain in qualifying, they all got fresh tyres, so you would think that would have been their best opportunity to make that one stop work from that, you know, the best strategy, which you mentioned was ultra soft to super soft, but they weren't able to do that. But Kian, meanwhile, he's closing in, Odems.
He is. I don't know, I think surely Dweller is just saving his tires. I think he pitted so early, lap 11, for the ultra soft. He was one of the few people to do ultra soft to super soft. He pitted so early, so I'd imagine that he's just trying to conserve his tires to make sure he goes to the end. And on a track like Canada, I think conservation is... Oh, never mind. What do I know? He pits.
Yeah, so that put the pipe back in your mouth, Odems, but he's going to drop down the oil. He's going to have a lightning fast last 10 laps. I imagine he'll fit the ultra soft tyre. They all have a lot of brand new tyres because they haven't used any in qualifying. Here comes Spider Atlas into the hairpin. This is the closest he's been. He goes wide though. That's going to affect his exit. So he's really struggling to get past that Force India and that Mercedes engines today. But you have to say he's giving it everything he has. He's not leaving anything on the table.
My God, he pits. I don't know why he needed to change the front wing change. So maybe that's why. Yeah, that is awful for him. He was on a lock for 5th place. He's had to go into the pits. And Bodybuilder has Bodybuilder is 2 seconds behind Lamine. Lamine has really been off the pace. Really been off the pace. Bodybuilder is right behind him. I keep calling him Bodybuilder. I don't think it's his actual name. Bodybuilder is so close to him. I did not expect that at all.
Yeah, so Lamine obviously hasn't had the pace. He took pole position, and we were so impressed with that. But he hasn't really gone on to as Dweller has already closed that gap to within DRS. You have to say that this is just a matter of time before this happens, and it'll be interesting to see. I don't know whether Dweller can catch up to Kian in 2nd place. It seems to be too much of a gap to do, and perhaps by making that final. So Lamine comes in and calls quits on his strategy. I wonder if he had front wing damage. He does.
He did. Had it for a while. I think that must have been why. He's not changing his front wing though. Maybe he had it set to auto and the pit crew didn't fancy it. But he's got enough of a gap to Lukey that he should be fine.
Here comes Spider Atlas now. 0.3 of a second. If he could just nail his last. Yeah, he's got a good exit. This is going to be his chance. He needs to get this done, Odems. He pulls to the inside. He's going to have to get it on the brakes. He does. He goes down the inside on the brakes. They both go side by side, but the Force India just has a better exit of the corner, and now he's under attack from the other Force India, Odems. He needs to be careful here. But you have to say, although DRS isn't that as powerful on this year's game, it's definitely providing us with some close racing. Because you have to say last year Spider Atlas would have been long gone and down the road, but now he's been within a few tenths, half a second almost, of the Force India driver ahead, as the other Force India driver is now trying to go around the inside. Is he going to do it on the brakes? No, tucks back in. This is fantastic, fantastic battling, and you have to say Emphatic wants to be side by side with his teammate again, as they currently occupy 6th and 8th position. We're seeing, no, they're not seeing.
Matt, your daddy's getting in on this as well. It's not over at all. Matt, your daddy, and Craig is not too far behind, so this will be a 4-way scrap before we know it.
Yeah, this is, yeah.
These four have been in the war this whole entire race. You've just been watching them overtake left, right, and center. It's been crazy. It's been very stressful for them, obviously. As Spider Atlas gets a good run on the Bookster again, hoisting it down the inside. He chooses to. He gets it stopped, just about.
Oh, and he's done well there because he's gone across. Oh, this is fantastic. Books is about to lose 2 positions. Inside is better here. Will they go side by side? They choose not to, but Spider Atlas obviously learnt from what happened as Matt Your Daddy's now going left, right, left, right. He can't decide which way to get round.
Yeah, it's working damage as well.
So he's obviously hit the back of one of them, and now the other Force India of Emphatic gets a poor exit.
Oh.
Matt Your Daddy's touching the wall on the grass. Perhaps Bookster didn't see him there, but yeah, just after coming out of the pits, the Ferrari does have wing damage. Lukey, meanwhile, his teammate is currently, yeah, the Bookster lets him through, so well done to him. He obviously didn't see him there, and that's sportsmanship at its finest.
Yeah.
Just wanted to mention, Odems, that Lukey, the defending champion, is about to be joined with Lemaine, the current championship contender. Lemaine thinks about the inside, nothing's better. He's got such fresher tires, he just needs to wait and pick the right moment here.
Okay, this has been one of the best races I've ever seen. It's a pleasure to commentate on. The racing is clean and in bounds. There's been so much of it. I think Lemaine must have made a mistake. He must have made a mistake because I was confident that he would have stayed ahead of Lukey after his pit stop, but that wasn't the case. In fact, he's still sticking to the back of Spider Alphas, so that's not open. Spider Alphas could still salvage 6th, so that's not bad for him. Almost everyone has front wing damage at this point except Spider Alphas, but he obviously has maybe after that spin he has ruined tires. Because Lemaine is now all over the back of Lukey once again. Such a hectic race.
Yeah, it's been pretty chaotic.
But for everyone else.
Yeah, definitely, and Lemaine almost got the job done there in the middle sector. We've got yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. That looks to be Emphatic, judging by the fact his arrow's moving down.
He's backwards. I think probably lost more of his front wing. He's facing the wrong way, and it's over for him.
Here comes Lemaine, gonna try down the inside of Lukey. Is he going to get the job done? No, just they make slight contact there. There was room, but there wasn't enough for Lemaine to get the car slowed down and get it turned into the corner. So Lemaine's going to have to try again. He's now experiencing how difficult it is to overtake in what was one of the best overtaking tracks of the calendar. So he's going to try again on another lap. But Odem's Matt Your Daddy now on the back of Spider Atlas. One Ferrari under attack, the other Ferrari attacking.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting we haven't mentioned people like Jonas, who's into the points now, Jamie, and Greenfin, who've had very appalling races for their standards. They're all out of the points. But in the points is where all the action is, as Lemaine closes into the back of Lukey. And Matt Your Daddy closes into the back of Spider Alphas.
Here comes Matt Your Daddy, yeah. I'll follow Matt Your Daddy, you follow Lemaine and Lukey. These Ferrari drivers obviously want to give you guys and us a show tonight. So here we are. We have 5 laps to go. Matt Your Daddy's trying to go around the outside of the Renault Spider Atlas. Meanwhile, what's going on over with Lemaine?
He's got a decent run. He could sing it down the inside of Lukey if he's brave enough, and he's not. He chooses not to. Smart move. So he's gonna have to stay another lap, or another sector at least, behind Lukey. But he's so close to the back of him. Probably gonna be pushing him through the last few corners. We think it's only a matter of time.
Speaking a matter of time, Odem's Matt Your Daddy got through into the final corner there on Spider Atlas. There was a back marker involved, but he kindly got out the way, so well done to the Haas driver of Greenfin for doing so well there. But yeah, let's switch back over to Lemaine, because this is the next tasty one. They want a bit of cake, but they don't want to share it, so let's see what these guys can do. Hopefully we get some...
right on the back of the book, sir.
So,
Craig is right on the back of the book, sir.
Yep, that's another one. what's going to happen here. I'll watch Lemaine because that's for a 4th, 5th position. A lot of points up for grabs in these two places, so neither of them can afford to make a poor mistake, especially with Lemaine's rivals both finishing on the podium. But Techno Thriller, we'll give a quick mention to him, Odense, because talk about fighting back. You know, he was called into the driver's press conference after Kian's 2 dominant wins, and he's basically kindly put 2 fingers up to Kian and said, "I'm still here, mate."
You did. I loved his answer in the press conference, basically saying that he doesn't feel like anyone in this tier is quicker than him, and he's proved that today with a dominant drive. Kian at no point was catching him, so yeah, he's just straight up showed that he's a very quick driver. I said to Cliffy before the race that I believe Techno Thriller will win because I've league raced with him on this track, and he almost beat me. So yeah, very well done from Techno Thriller.
9 seconds a gap between him and Kian, so they look to set.
Lemaine's made a mistake.
Yeah, he's dropped back, hasn't he? So he was 1.5 back after the previous lap when I was running on board. Now he's dropped back to over 4 seconds, so I don't know what's going on with him. But Techno Thriller and Kian look set to battle all the way to the end of this season, and hopefully they can take the championship to the last race. It's worth pointing out, Adams, that both championships, first and second, are separated by just a point. So in the podium tier, it's a point, and in the pinnacle tier, it's a point. So you can't get any better than that, and that's what we do here at F1 TS Hub. Fantastic racing, close battles as you've seen tonight, and Craig is all over the back of the Boogster, and he looks set to get this done on this DRS straight. We are on lap 32 out of 35. Odems, how are you going to sum this race up when it gets written about next week?
Oh, how will I sum this race up? It's been amazing. As Craig lines up a move on the Bookster. The Bookster goes defensive, Craig tries around the outside. Bookster holds position very nicely. I don't know what how I can sum this race up. I can't do it justice if I wrote an essay, a 10-page essay on this race. There's been so much action, so much thrills and spills.
It's worth pointing out.
Great driving all around.
Sorry, Adams. I just wanted to point out, as you were riding on board with Craig and the Boogster still, Lemaine has dropped a lot off Lukey and is falling into the clutches of Matt Your Daddy. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But I have seen twice in this latter part of the race that Techno Thriller does have at least 2 penalties. The Sauber driver, I've seen his name pop up twice since his pit stop. So whether Kian has any or not, if Techno Thriller does have 3, then this is going to be close, because at the moment it's only 9.5. So Odems, we're not sure, of course, these positions, how they're going to change when they do cross the line.
I'm going to spoil you because I didn't know now.
Well, no, let's leave it. Let's leave it, and let's leave it for the guys who are watching. 20 of you, by the way. So hello to all of you, and welcome to the stream. We've got a Mercedes all over the back of a Mercedes Force India. And although we've seen a lot of overtakes, we've also seen how difficult it is to get the job done around this track.
Yeah, my daddy's 4 seconds behind Lemaine. So Lemaine, maybe he's in Ghost. It could be. I don't know, because he's getting reeled in very quickly.
Craig's done it. Craig's gone down the inside.
Yep,
he went deep, but by going deep, he stopped the Boogster turning into that corner. So he obviously felt the need. If I'm going to get this done, I've got to be aggressive. What's the Boogster going to do? Is he going to try back down the inside? Oh, there, wheel, touch wheel. Craig has to cut the corner slightly after not being left much room. But fair play to both of these. Excuse me, still have a little bit of a tickle from my cold last week. But Boogster's now going to get DRS. He gets a lovely exit. What are these guys going to do now again? Back down into the final corner here at end.
It's all about the exit on this part of the track. Craig goes defensive. He feels the need to go defensive, puts it back onto the racing line. Not a good exit for the Bucks. I think that's the battle over, to be honest. Craig, he has the better tires. He has more of a front wing, it seems. So I don't think the Bucks have anything to answer him with. He's gonna have to settle for 9th, or at least until penalties come into play. Once we noted that Craig Twitter is lapped up to 10th place, and he's probably like a second behind the Buckster and Craig. So yeah, domination from him. Putting away from Kian too.
He's on his final lap, of course, so the race leaders have started lap 35 out of 35. We had intermediate weather in qualifying. Lemaine took pole position, and since then, Techno Thriller, stunning pass around the outside of the Mercedes driver. In fact, we've seen lots of stunning passes today, lots of brilliant defending, a few too close calls for some drivers, not too many front wings as we'd expect. We don't know how many penalties, but Techno Thriller in the last sector here. Matt Your Daddy's closing in on Lemaine, but it's not going to be enough. This has been a fantastic fight back from Techno Thriller in terms of his championship position. Last two races, Kian was the man to cross the line first. Techno Thriller is going to be the man to cross the line first. Looking forward to seeing what these penalties do to this race, but whatever they do, nothing's going to take it away from the job that this man has done today in the Sauber. Going to be joined by his teammate on the Sauber, most likely. He crosses the line. Techno Thriller wins in Canada. Kian now down the back straight. Here we are, we're waiting for him to cross the line. He exits goes past the wall of champions as the McLaren moves out the way. He crosses the line and he stays second. So Dweller now currently in third position. It's going to be a Sauber, double Sauber podium. Congratulations to them. He's weaving his first race at F1 TS Hub. So massive well done and massive congratulations and welcome for him. Lukey in the Ferrari Odems, it's been a solid drive by the champion today. He needed that.
It has. He drove very well. We've seen the last few races he was very crash prone. But none of that today. Cut all that out. He even kept Lemaine behind and was able to salvage fourth. I really don't know what happened to Lemaine. He just completely dropped off the pace.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of him, he's just got a penalty to cement his thing. Is he going to drop behind Matt Your Daddy, who's just in the distance there? A solid drive as well and he does drop behind Matt Your Daddy. I did get stuck riding on board, so I can't follow anyone else over the line, but Matt Your Daddy takes a top 5, a 4th and 5th for Ferrari, so a solid day and a solid job for them. Lemaine, he'll be disappointed with that, as we see another position change, I believe, there, Odems, but I'm not too sure exactly what it was. Everyone has now finished the race. Matt Your Daddy in 5th, Techno Thriller wins ahead of Kian. We are going to be joined on the podium by 2 Sauber drivers, and this is going to be an interesting battle because we've now got someone else who's joined this championship battle.
We have Dweller shown himself to be very quick. I think the strategy let him down today, but yeah, Techno Thriller wins. His fastest lap 6/10 quicker than Kian, which shows how quick he was this race. The Dweller takes third place. Lukey, a great drive, he takes fourth, ahead of Matt Your Daddy, who snuck ahead of Lemaine. Spider Ralph is 7th place. The Bookster, it was the Bookster who jumped Craig. That's what you saw in terms of penalties. He had one less penalty than Craig, and he snuck in 8th place. And Jonas was the one to complete the top 10. Jamie, Emphatix, Greenfield, all having races to forget, and Gazaman, Josh, and the McLaren of Razart, all out of the race.
Razor, of course, didn't finish this race. Neither did Gaza or Josh. But Razor, the only driver not to get a penalty. The entire rest of the field got at least one penalty. So they really struggled with track limits here today. But Odems, a massive drive from Techno Thriller, a massive debut from his teammate Dweller. The Ferraris fight back, Lemaine falters, and Bookster and Spider Atlas move up the grid pretty well. Jonas continues to occupy the latter part of the points. Who's up for your DOD vote today?
Oh, would a Lucky start?
Yeah, it was definitely a good start. Whether it was luck or not, I'm not too sure, but he got less penalties than the 2 guys ahead.
I think I want to give it to Lukey. He started nice and he drove so well. I'm impressed. I did not expect that from him, to be honest, because he's had a rough start to the season. So my driver of the day is going to be Lukey. As much as I want to give it to Techno Thriller for dominating, he led pretty much every lap. Did Techno Thriller, so I'd love to give it to him. But yeah, I don't know what I could say to sum up that race other than an absolute epic.
So there you have it, an absolute epic, and we're set for another one round Canada later on tonight at 9 PM with the Pinnacle tier, the top tier of course at F1TS Hub. If you've enjoyed watching tonight, make sure you hit subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at F1TS Hub, and you can find out how to sign up to join our waiting list over on www.f1tshub.com. Our DOD Driver of the Day Twitter nominations will be up tomorrow, so have a look out for them if you want to vote for someone that impressed you today. I'd like to say a massive thank you not only to everyone watching, but to our Podium tier drivers tonight, because they put on an epic show for us to commentate on and bring to you guys. So thank you to them. Thank you to Odems for joining me, and the Podium tier will be back next week at 7 PM, and the Pinnacle tier will be with us shortly at 9 PM. From me, this is see you in a bit from Odems. Best of luck for him tonight.